Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is homeless displacement and gentrification in Music City. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about some of the issues involved with the homeless population and gentrification in Nashville, HAllen and Jason Rodriguez and Samuel Lester, three of the individuals who have agreed to talk about some of the issues. Let's start off with you, Mr. Allen, by having you to give us some information, excuse me, in reference to your background, your education, and some of your experiences, excuse me. And Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Lester will do the same thing during this first segment, and then we'll have an opportunity to go into the second segment dealing with the issue itself, homeless displacement and gentrification in Music City.
First, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Haney, for having me on. I'm a Nashvilleian, and I had 2 years of college at Tennessee State and a year at Texas Southern, and then I had made some bad decisions and I became homeless. But as I said, I'm a Nashvilleian, and I have a grassroots organization called the Nashville Homeless Underground, and that's how I met Jason Rodriguez and also Samuel Lester here. And me being a Nashvilleian and being out on the streets now, I see changes that have really become a serious problem for the homeless population in Nashville. And
of course, we'll talk about that population. Mr. Rodriguez, let's talk about your situation.
Yeah, so my educational background is I have a bachelor's in sociology and a master's in applied statistics. Mm-hmm. And right after undergrad, I started working for the state of Georgia. I used to live in the Atlanta area, mm-hmm. and I worked for the Housing Trust Fund for the Homeless. And so my role was to analyze homelessness data. And I did that for about 3 years. And then I moved to Nashville, Tennessee to start my PhD program at Vanderbilt University. Mm-hmm. So right now I'm about 2 years into the program. I'm in the Community Research and Action program, and I study homelessness full time.
Very good. Mr. Lester?
Hi, thanks for having us. I have a master's degree in political science, taught at Montgomery Bell Academy for 13 years, government and economics and history, and about 5 years ago started getting involved in issues of homelessness. A gentleman by the name of Jimmy Fulmer died, froze to death on the steps of a church in East Nashville, not far from where I was living, and I realized the direness of the situation and felt like we needed to do more. For over 3 years now, I've worked with Open Table Nashville doing street outreach and advocacy with them.
Mm-hmm. And so the three of you are deeply involved with the homeless population one way or the other, studying or assisting, doing whatever you possibly can in terms of dealing with this as an issue. Mr. Allen, since, and I think we'll have an opportunity to make some statements in reference to this before the first commercial break. What do we mean when we talk about the homeless population in Nashville, their displacement and gentrification? Give us some statements in reference to the topic itself.
Well, the displacement is that they don't have a place to live because they're not building affordable housing for the least of thee. I live it myself. I'm fighting to get back into housing, so I'm on the street. I live on the street. There are really two Nashvilles, those that have not. And what I want